Shadow of the Bat Part 2 wraps things up in a satisfactory manner. A few thrilling sequences see Batgirl team up with Batman and Robin for the first time, as she kind of becomes an unofficial member of the crime-fighting family. With James Gordon still behind bars, Deputy Commissioner Gil Mason is confirmed to be working for Two-Face. Dent hopes to set him up as the new police commissioner to control a large part of Gotham's infrastructure. Discovering this is the newly minted Batgirl, aka Gordon's daughter Barbara. After clumsily helping Robin rescue Batman, who is being interrogated by Two-Face while still in the disguise of Matches Malone, the trio fight to save Jim Gordon when he's broken out of jail to make him look more guilty. Now in the clutches of Two-Face, Barbara, Dick, and Bruce do all they can to save the city's #1 cop. Bryn Stevens returned to write and Frank Parr came back to direct, but Shirley Walker handed off the music composition to Harvey Cohen in this episode. That's definitely a noticeable difference, as the score is a little more stylized and less moody than Part 1. He even added some jazz in there. Melissa Gilbert does a pretty good job with Batgirl's voice. It's slightly deeper when she's under the cape and cowl, and she's appropriately cheeky when talking with Robin and Batman.
What's he saying? Shh! Dork. Am I glad to see you?
Do you mind?
Sorry.
They did change her costume just a bit from the end of the last episode. Instead of the black with blue outlining, her mask and cape are now mostly blue for a slightly different contrast. I'll be honest, it's not my favorite look. I think Batgirl/Barbara is one of the few characters who benefited from the redesign for the show's final 24 episodes. It's been my impression that both the black and yellow costume and Tara Strong's voice are more associated with the character from this series. In any case, we do get a standout visual here with that train passing by to reveal Batgirl's foreboding stare. Great moment. The scene where the subway floods is another one of those sequences I can remember clear as day from when I originally watched this episode. It's just a really cool set piece, and how they get out of that situation using the train wagon made for a fun moment. After Gordon is broken out of jail by Two-Face's goons posing as Rupert Thorne's henchmen, the commissioner looks even more guilty than before. I found it kind of surprising that even Harvey Bullock didn't know for sure if his friend was innocent after that.
What do you think about the commissioner's innocence now, Detective?
I don't know.
Come on, he has to be guilty.
Two-Face isn't as intimidating as he was in that scene from Part 1, but he did remind us just who was in charge when Gil called him Harvey.
Don't call me that. It's Two-Face to you, pretty boy.
Okay, Two-Face.
Spoilers from here on out. Another giant coin ends up being Dent's downfall. This time, a silver dollar smashes him into the ground. Babs proves herself in the end by not only rescuing her dad, but taking down Gil and saving him when he could have died, cementing her characterization as a true hero. Although he unmasks her, Mason is said to be in a coma after this event. He never shows up again, so I'm guessing he didn't come out of it or had amnesia upon waking up. That might have been a nice story to follow up on, but because they didn't build up Gil before this, it may have felt a little tacked on. The ending of the episode promises more Batgirl, with hints that at least Bruce might know her true identity. She'd become much more important in later stories, but Shadow of the Bat was needed to establish Barbara as a hero worthy of teaming with Batman and Robin. It'd take a while for her to be fully accepted, but this was a good starting point. I do want to hear what you guys thought of this episode and Batgirl in general. There are some very controversial things that happen with Babs down the road, but when was the character at her best? In her early appearances here or later on after the redesign? Or, if you liked her most as the police commissioner in Batman Beyond, tell me below. The character had 5 voice actors share credit across the entirety of the DCAU, so let me know who your favorite is of those as well. No matter your opinion, she's a huge part of Batman lore, and in the end, may have been the closest to Bruce out of any of the other characters in this continuity.